Hey everybody, it's Irene with BrainStormAcres. The clips are kind of a pain because they're hard to get on and off, but they do hold. I won't say they never pop off. They can pop off in real high winds, but not like these do. And these put more point pressure on the row covers, so they're more likely to tear. Let's see. Looks a little messy, but it did stay the last time, so that's the whole point. And that's the one thing I have learned is if the rope has loosened up, it's a disaster waiting to happen. See, these are the clamps, and they are something of a pain to use because they don't clip on and off easily. But they do a great job of holding things in place. We have some plants here that are just really kind of toasted. The only reason I'm leaving these two here is I was hoping that they would ripen because we can't eat green tomatoes. I'll pop all these connectors off. Pull a couple of grass plants because I don't want them to go to seeds in here. That's a no-no. I may just replace this, we'll see. I'm not sure there's enough of this to warrant gluing it together anymore. I don't usually replace row covers on the summer garden. I usually take them off when it starts to get into the main part of the summer and just leave them off until fall when they might need cover to keep them from freezing. But this is the unusual year. So we will totally wing it and do whatever we need to do. All I have to say is it's a good thing we're home this year, because obviously we couldn't expect someone who's just taking care of the place to be able to do any of this. And that's another big thing we have to deal with for next year is, do we bother with a garden if we're going to be on the road? And how much of a garden? And when do we garden? Etc., etc. Big trade-off. We'd much rather just have these loose like this. However, I'm not sure what exactly we're going to do. We're going to wing it. Ew, who are you? Oh, you're a katydid. I don't care for katydids. They are very destructive. They're cool looking, but they're very destructive. They really chew your stuff up. There's some grasshoppers in here too. I'm hearing that some places in the United States really got slammed with grasshoppers this summer. As if we didn't have enough challenges going on, we have to add grasshoppers. Seems very biblical. Anyway. And I have been a locust plague before, so I don't recommend that either. I'm going to do the same thing I did over on the other one, where I wedged the rocks in there to keep the hoops in a more vertical position. More rocks. More rocks. We have rocks. I always have a stash of rocks around somewhere. There's a cool rock. I hate to put my cool rocks in there. It is sweaty this morning. I'm always careful when I pick up rocks. Being careless when you pick up rocks in the American Southwest is a great way to get stung by something awful. I learned that as a 19-year-old on an archaeological excavation in New Mexico. I had been warned I was being careful, and one day I wasn't careful, and I pinned a large warrior ant between my hand and a cow bone that I was picking up. And he stung me about, 2 or 3 times at least before I could get him off me. Yeah, well, they have a neurotoxin. That hand didn't work right for a while. Couldn't bend the fingers at all for a couple of days. And even when they did work later, it took a while. So I try and avoid foolishness like that now in my old age. I'm back. The camera overheated. So I let it cool on the counter. And yeah, changed the battery. So hopefully we'll be back in business for long enough for me to finish this now. More rocks, more rocks. This is a great way to clean up the rocks that are in the way anyway. I was planning to redo this section, but I haven't had a chance, so now I have an excuse to pick up all these rocks. And I noticed yesterday, because I've been kind of ignoring the weeds out here, that we have the volunteers here. So that should be a very cool hollyhock. No idea what color it's going to be, but that's okay. That's okay. It'll be a treat when it happens. There we go. One of the things that is sort of sad about this area is we don't have many good singers in terms of the birds. But phainopeplas and orioles are definitely our best. In case you're wondering why we have milk jugs here, it's because any spoiled milk around here gets poured on the tomatoes, and there is some solids in here, and I need to put these on the pile to go to the dump. Originally I thought I would just leave the old stuff on here, but when I started looking at it, it's pretty crappy. That's the nicest thing I could say. We're hoping that this works the same as carrying an umbrella. You know, it never rains when you have an umbrella, that sort of thing. We do want the rain, but we do not want the hail. Okay. Well, that's it. That's what we can do. So we now have covers on these guys. Let's see what we can do in the over here. I'm thinking just a little trim might help over here. This one plant over here literally got blown apart yesterday, which is not cool. Look at these poor things. There's nothing left. I harvested this well yesterday morning, thank goodness. I can see the fruit that's still on here is damaged. But we'll see. It's just dried out enough so I can get in here if I need to. The tops of these have flopped even before the last smashing. So you kind of have to look around carefully to figure out where the fruit actually might be. There's a bunch that are going to be here. But they're tiny, which is good because my refrigerator is totally full right now. I don't need more right this minute. And these are all tiny too, except for one. Haha! Ta-da! See, this guy was damaged. He's got a dent in him. but he should be fine. Okay, well, I've been watching these watermelons. That one is dried up. So is that. We've got so many shredded leaves in here. It makes it hard. We do have a couple of South Anna butternut squash coming on here. Oh, I needed to clean this guy off. I figure if a leaf is this badly shattered, it's just a good thing for something to be rotting on, so I want to get those out of there. And that's about it. That's about it for today in here. I need to go work on a drainage ditch and see what else I can get done before lunch. And after lunch, I have to work on a couple of important projects for my business. But I was trying to get this done this morning before it got too hot, because it's supposed to get up in the 80s, probably mid 80s around here. Forecast is low 80s, so it'll be mid 80s here. So I hope you find this sort of interesting. Yeah, poor plants. Not a lot you could do about it. We're going to work on this for next year, because the frequency and violence of these storms seems to be increasing. Now, it could just be this year, and next year we won't have anything. But, yeah, it becomes kind of a guessing game. But as I told a friend the other day, gardening is the ultimate betting game. The ultimate betting game, because you win some, you lose some. And if you can't deal with it, you probably shouldn't garden. But yeah, we have had some good success this year already, but we have a few more details to work out for next year. Now, we've been gardening here for 16 years. This is the worst problems we've had. So, good old climate change is zapping everybody. So we just have to be a little smarter than the climate. May not be possible, but we need to mitigate the problems as well as we can so that we can still get a harvest. So until next time, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because obviously we have a ton going on. I may take some pictures of myself shoveling today, we'll see. Doesn't that sound like fun? So until next time, bye.